In the compulsory task on evaporation, we pretend that you are trainees at a consulting company and that you should take a code for a single effect evaporation for gelatin solutions and modify that into a code for multi-effect evaporation of black liquor. When doing this task, your lab group is subdivided in subgroups, and exactly what data to use depend on which subgroup you belong to. The task description contains a lot of information, so please read it carefully. This compulsory task requires quite some work from you, but to reduce your workload, we strongly recommend you to carefully follow the prescribed steps in the task description. Step 1 is your own preparation before you receive any supervision for the compulsory task. Listen to lectures, read the theory, do some exercises, and read the task description. As a way to understand and remember what the task is about, write and hand in a draft, introduction and aim. Also begin to work on the project template. And finally, download the sample Python code, save it in a new empty folder, and test that it works. Note, if you skip step 1, you are very unlikely to manage step 2 in time. Step 2 is the scheduled session where you finish the project template and show it to a teacher. The video preparing for programming demonstrates how similar notes are taken before writing the code to solve exercise 5.7. Receiving an OK on step 2 is a prerequisite for receiving supervision with step 3. Step 3 is the computer session where you modify the code we have supplied so that it can solve the compulsory task on evaporation. As the video modifying sample code demonstrates quite clearly, if you have done a good work with your project template, this step will be a lot easier than if you haven't prepared properly. You are, of course, very welcome to start programming before your scheduled computer session, but please do step 2 first. Step 4 is writing your first version of the report. In step 5, you send your first version to another group for peer review and review another group's first version. The deadline for step 5 is up for you to agree upon with another group. In step 6, you make changes in your report based on the peer feedback you received. And finally, in step 7, you hand in your report before the deadline stated on the course web. Report requirements are stated in the task description. There is also a bilingual module on technical writing on the course web that might help you. We have recorded a number of videos explaining the routines used in exercise 5.7 and giving some general hints on how to code in Python. Even if you are very good at writing Python code, we strongly encourage you to watch the Preparing for Programming and the Modifying Sample Code videos before you write any Python code for this task. So what is black liquor, or svartlut as it is called in Swedish? Well, a very common method to make pulp, paper and similar products from wood is the kraft process. In the kraft process, wood chips are boiled with sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide to break the wood into its main constituent parts, cellulose, hemicellulose and lignin. The lignin is like a glue, and you typically want as little lignin as possible in your final product. The spent cooking chemicals are washed away from the pulp as weak black liquor. The first step in the recovery of the cooking chemicals is to evaporate water from the weak black liquor, turning it into black liquor. Hence the name black liquor evaporation. In real black liquor evaporation, as in this photo here, there are usually several effects, sometimes as many as 9. The feed pattern may vary between installations, and crucial for the economy and environmental impact is the energy recovery. We will make comparatively simple calculations, as this is an introductory course. The routines we provide are for educational purposes only and are designed to mimic a realistic behavior rather than giving accurate results.